What if the person you're desperately seeking was already there, right next to you? Without you realizing it, Allah may have placed someone in your heart, someone chosen, who will change your life. Do you feel this emptiness, this waiting, this impatience? Look around you. It's no coincidence. Today, we're going to discover together how to recognize the person God has already placed in your heart and why this moment is closer than you think. What if they were already here? Sometimes you find yourself sitting in the silence of your room, alone with your thoughts. And this question crosses your mind like a heavy breath, a barely audible whisper. What if they were already here? Not in a distant dream, not in a future vision or a vague promise, but here, right here, around you, maybe even closer than you think. You look around, and yet you're still searching. Someone, something, a presence to fill that emptiness in your heart, that dissatisfaction that can't be quenched by words or distractions. You feel it, don't you? The unquenchable thirst for something beyond the tangible, a bond that goes beyond appearances. A connection you can't explain, as if your soul itself were reaching out to a hidden secret. Why do certain faces return again and again to your mind like an echo that time cannot erase? These images that arise when you least expect them, illuminating your memory with a soft light, mingled with the thrill of the unknown. And these names, the ones you sometimes hear in a whisper, in the silence of a prayer, burning gently in your heart, without you being able to say why. These are not mere memories. These are not coincidences. They are signs, imprints that God engraves in the depths of your being. What if it weren't a coincidence? What if this feeling of expectation, this impatience you fight, this weight tightening in your chest wasn't an illusion born of your own desire? Sometimes reality exceeds our expectations, and what we take for emptiness is in truth a sacred space, a ground prepared by the one who knows what your soul seeks even before you are aware of it. You don't know yet. You're not fully aware of it because patience, hardship, and uncertainty cloud the path. But the one Allah has placed in your heart could already be there within sight. Perhaps in that smile you encounter without paying attention. Perhaps in that silence shared between two souls who don't yet know they recognize each other. It's not an illusion. It's a silent promise that God makes to those who know how to listen. Reflect for a moment. How many times have you felt, deep down, that something greater was being written? That what you were experiencing, that moment of confusion, that weight in your chest, that incessant struggle, was not in vain, but rather preparing for something? As if every tear shed, every night spent praying in secret, every breath held in expectation were the beginnings of a blessed encounter. You are not alone in this quest. Your heart is sacred ground where Allah places invisible seeds, discreet clues that you must learn to decipher. These are deep feelings, silent calls that urge the soul not to give up, not to be overwhelmed by doubt. Because in truth, the person you seek, the soul chosen by divine wisdom, is not a mirage. They are a reality, an imminent presence awaiting the moment when you are both ready. In this wait, it is easy to go astray, to believe that solitude is a punishment, that hardship is a chastisement. But what if you could see this period differently, as a sacred time where Allah shapes you, where He purifies your heart, where He outlines the contours of an encounter you have always planned for? Every difficulty you experience is not a coincidence, but a divine alchemy that prepares your soul to receive what it truly desires. The path is often invisible, but it is there, right before your eyes. And sometimes, the true miracle isn't in the grand gesture, in the sudden dramatic turn of events. It's in the simplicity of a gaze that meets yours, in a shared silence, in a presence that soothes without even speaking. Therein lies the beauty of the destiny that Allah has created, in those small moments that go unnoticed but carry within them the weight of heaven. Those who wait know that the trial is not meaningless, that it is a passage, a portal that leads to a purer light, to a peace that surpasses all understanding. Perhaps the person you are waiting for has also crossed a desert of uncertainty, nights of silent anguish, invisible struggles. Perhaps they carry within them the same wounds as you, the same burning questions. And it is this shared humanity, the same call to Allah, that unites you beyond time and space. So look around you. Take the time to listen to your heart in this inner turmoil. Do you feel that thrill, that diffuse certainty that tells you that the meeting is near, that the path is traced, even if the veil remains impenetrable for the moment? That it is not two, they crossed paths without seeing each other. Imagine this woman for a moment. She boards the bus, her gaze lost, but her soul awakened to something she can't yet name. Every morning, she crosses the same street, waits in line at the same bakery, and each time she sees him. Him, this man who, like her, knows nothing about her. He doesn't know her name, her dreams, her hidden wounds. But there's something in his gaze that calms her inner storms, something indescribable that soothes him without him having to utter a single word. They live in the same world, yes, in the same city, perhaps even in the same neighborhood. But there's this strange distance that separates them. 2 seconds, 2 glances that escape at the last moment, 2 souls that brush past without ever truly touching. A physical proximity, but a subtle, invisible separation. It's as if time itself is waiting for the right signal, the perfect moment, the one known only to Allah. There is a profound wisdom in this story that few perceive, because sometimes Allah plots destiny long before we can understand its signs. Sometimes He writes the first lines of a story that He lets us read only at the right moment. These characters, the woman on the bus, the man in the crowd, are already there, already prepared, even if their paths have not yet crossed. Their meeting is no coincidence. It is no accident that their eyes seek each other without finding each other, that their souls are aware of each other even before their bodies touch. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, shapes the moment with perfect precision, waiting until hearts are ready, wounds are healed, and trials have forged souls. They are like 2 travelers on an invisible road, each walking their separate ways, carrying their burdens, their prayers, and their hopes. Perhaps they don't yet understand why this wait is so long, why this distance sometimes seems insurmountable. But this temporary separation is an essential part of the divine plan. A silent purification process where each moment of absence builds the depth of their future encounter. Perhaps you know this feeling too, the feeling of having brushed against someone, without knowing that it was there, at that precise moment, that the story was secretly being woven. That this stranger in the crowd, this friend of a day, this fleeting presence, was already the echo of a destiny far greater than you. And it is in this mystery that beauty resides. That nothing is ever done in vain, that every passage, every glance, every silence has its place in the divine orchestra. That the encounter you hope for, that you seek with such intensity, is already being prepared, not for today, not for tomorrow, but for the perfect moment. The one when everything will align, when time will fade away, and when you will understand that this waiting was only a step toward profound peace. So let this story speak to you. Feel it in every fiber of your being, because you too are living this suspended time. You too may be crossing paths with the one your heart is calling to, without yet knowing it. And what you don't know is that what comes next could change everything. 3. You feel like someone is waiting for you, but you don't know who. There are nights when the silence becomes heavier than usual, when sleep is scarce and your mind refuses to shut down. You close your eyes, but instead of finding rest, you are overcome by this strange sensation, this thrill you can't name. As if, somewhere, in this vast universe created by Allah, someone is raising their hands in prayer for you. A person you don't know, who doesn't know your name, who doesn't know your story, and yet they are praying for you. This thought crosses your heart and your mind like a gentle breeze of hope. This idea that your soul is not isolated, that it is recognized in the darkness, in the depths of the nights where all seems lost. A soul searching, like yours, who feels, beyond words, an inexplicable connection. You can't explain this feeling. You could reject it, push it aside, drown it in fatigue or doubt. But you feel it deep within you, where no words can lie. The silent truth whispers to you. You are not alone in this waiting. There is someone, not by chance, not by illusion, someone chosen, but not by you, by him, by the one who knows the depths of your heart, the one who shaped you with a wisdom you cannot yet understand. This person exists. They are there, even if you cannot see them. They live, perhaps they pray too. They feel this silent call. The solitude you sometimes carry like a cross is not the emptiness you fear. It is not an abyss where your soul is stranded. It is an echo, the echo of a presence approaching, gently, silently. A presence that advances with velvet steps, carrying within it the promise of peace. Sometimes, the soul needs to go through those moments when all seems silent, when the wait seems endless, to open itself to the greater truth. This truth that a divine encounter never happens on a whim, that it is not a simple accident of fate. It is a celestial orchestration, a divine symphony, where each note is carefully placed, each moment counts, each second prepares the arrival of the one who will ignite a new light in your life. And this light is not only in the gaze of the other, it is in what this encounter will awaken within you. In the peace it will sow in your weary heart, in the strength it will bring forth from your depths. Because Allah never places someone in your life to fill a superficial void. He places before you a soul to guide you closer to Him, to help you grow, to reveal what you have that is invisible to yourself. Perhaps you have made mistakes. Perhaps you carry regrets that you believe are impossible to erase. Perhaps you have long believed that this waiting was nothing more than a cruel trial, a punishment. But it is quite the opposite. It is a blessing in disguise, an invitation to patience, to hope, to trust in infinite wisdom. You are not alone, even in your darkest nights, even when the world seems to forget your existence. This divine presence reminds you that time is in His hands, that this time, this waiting, are also proofs of a love that you cannot understand, but that you can feel. So, close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel this emptiness gradually fill, like a garden awakening at dawn. Because what you seek, this chosen soul, is perhaps closer than you imagine. Closer than your next breath. Closer than this silence you believe to be oppressive. And it is in this very silence, in this mysterious waiting, that your heart can finally hear the truth that only the soul can understand. For the heart is a mirror, and Allah has breathed a name into it. Your heart. It is not a closed box, a chest you can seal and forget. No. Your heart is a mirror, A fragile, clear mirror, capable of reflecting truths invisible to the naked eye, shards of a divine light that you cannot yet decipher. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, has breathed a name into this mirror. Not an ordinary name. A name laden with a promise, a sacred secret. This name resonates softly in the depths of your soul, still hazy, like a trembling reflection on water in the early morning. Sometimes you guess it. Sometimes it seems to disappear, as if carried away by the breath of doubt. And yet, it is no coincidence that some faces remain blurred in your memory, while others suddenly shine with a disturbing clarity. This isn't superficial attachment, nor an illusion born of loneliness. It's a deeper, almost silent recognition, as if a part of your being, truer than anything you can name, already knew this soul even before your paths crossed. You have lived, you continue to live, turning the pages of your life, facing storms and calms, making choices, sometimes losing hope. But what you don't yet know is that the next chapter, the one that will carry the light your heart thirsts for, is already being written. Right there, a few steps away, behind the veil you have yet to lift. This mirror that is your heart preciously guards this reflection, this divine breath. It awaits the moment when the veil will be torn, when the light will burst forth, clear and brilliant. And then, this name, this face, this hitherto blurred presence will become a vibrant reality, a turning point in your story. You're at the dawn of something. Even if the wait seems endless, even if the days pass without anything seeming to change, this mirror keeps the sacred trace of what God has placed within you. It is that invisible link, that golden thread that no one can see, but which unites souls destined to find each other again. This is what makes patience precious and hope indispensable. Because it is not up to you to force the revelation, nor to accelerate what the Creator has already perfectly ordained. Your role is to listen to this mirror, to hear the whisper of this promise, and to keep your heart open to the invisible. As you move forward in your life, remember that this mirror never lies. May it show you what your mind sometimes refuses to admit. That there, somewhere, the divine encounter you hope for, the presence you long for, is taking shape, growing in the light of Allah's designs. And what you don't know yet is that this light is just waiting for you to shine fully. 5. Why them? Why now? Why, all of a sudden, does this person inhabit your mind? Why does their image infiltrate your thoughts? Every moment you hope, doubt, or search for meaning. Why, even though you've never actually met or even spoken, do you feel this strange peace, this calm that soothes your inner storms? And this lack, this emptiness? Why this persistent lack, when no tangible presence fills this void? You might think it's your imagination playing with you, an illusion born of your loneliness, a useless daydream. But what if it isn't? What if what you feel is a signal, a divine call, a light in the darkness, a whisper from Allah to your soul? What if Allah, in His infinite wisdom, wanted you to open your eyes, not to what you desperately seek in the outside world, but to the one He has already placed by your side, in your life, in your daily life, but whom you cannot yet see because your heart is not ready? What if this waiting, this ordeal, this distance that sometimes seems unbearable, were in reality the final test, the last step before the divine encounter, the one that will transform everything, the one that will heal what you thought was irreparably broken? This waiting is not a punishment, nor a forgetting. It is a purification, a path to a revelation. Why them? Because Allah knows the depths of your soul. Why now? Because the moment of the encounter is orchestrated with celestial precision, a perfect timing that only He controls. What if you began to see this time of waiting not as an absence, but as the preparation for a miracle? So, what will you do with this waiting? Will you let it consume you? Or will you choose to experience it as an invisible blessing, a sign that what you seek is already there, right in front of you, ready to blossom? 6. He or she is not the goal, but a bridge to him. It's easy to think that this person you're seeking, that you're waiting for with so much hope, is the key to your completeness. That it's by finding them that your heart will finally be at peace, that your emptiness will be filled, that your life will take on its full meaning. But think for a moment. Allah never places someone in your heart simply to fill a void. It's never to feel a superficial lack, nor to repair a wound that the world could not heal. No. He places this person in your life to elevate you, to make you grow, to bring you closer to Him, the only one who can truly fill your soul. The true connection is not simply between two hearts beating in unison, nor even between two hands seeking each other in silence. The true connection is between two souls, two lights that upon finding each other do not extinguish, but rather brighten, each reflecting the divine light that dwells within them. It's a bridge, a passage, a sacred path. And sometimes, this chosen one you're waiting for isn't there to complete you, as is often believed. He or she is there to reveal you, to bring out hidden treasures within you, strengths you didn't know you possessed, dimensions of your faith you hadn't yet explored. Because true love, in Allah's vision, doesn't seek to possess. It seeks to liberate. It doesn't seek to fill a human void, but to open spiritual doors. When you understand this, every encounter, every look, every word becomes a sign, a divine message. Every soul you encounter is a mirror, an invitation to draw closer to the one who created you. So instead of desperately seeking to grasp this person as an end in themselves, open your heart to the truth that they are there to take you higher, to push you to elevate your soul, to bring you closer to the ultimate refuge. And in this quest, you will discover that the most beautiful choice is the one Allah makes. The one He places before you, not to satisfy you, but to reveal you. This path is not always easy. Sometimes it is strewn with doubts, trials, and silences. But it is there, in these spaces between two souls, that true light can be born. And it is precisely at this moment that you realize that the divine encounter you are waiting for is not a story of the past or the future. It is here, now, present in every beat of your heart. Now it's up to you to take a closer look. This chosen one may already be there, in your life, in your thoughts, in this inner silence. Don't let this light pass you by. Stay open, stay patient, and above all, keep searching with your sincere heart. If this message has touched you, share it with those who, like you, are seeking answers. Subscribe so you don't miss any of the signs that Allah places on your path. And write to me in the comments, do you feel this divine presence approaching? Your quest has only just begun.